I'm telling you, when I see this at Star Trek conventions, I'm there. Sign me in. Whatever we're doing. The Trekkies out there, you guys are animals. Speaking your Klingon while you're having orgies, this shit gets crazy. I was lucky enough to see a movie called Star Trek Beyond. And when I went to see this, I knew what I was getting myself into. A bunch of lightsabers, some Yoda, and some phasers or tasers or whatever they're called. But going in this movie, I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. But this movie started off on a level 9. We were propelled in deep space. And I'm freaking out when I'm in deep space because I'm thinking, what happens if I accidentally get sucked out of something? You ever see Gravity? That's freaky, man. When I was watching the movie, I was mesmerized. I was mesmerized because of all the cool technology that I don't know why we don't have yet. Like this awesome USS Enterprise. Why don't we have that? I'm surprised if we can do that in a film, why can't we do it in real life? What's NASA doing? I would think that NASA's being pretty lazy. We are failing as a society that is trying to be technologically advanced. How are we going to compete with aliens if we don't even have this technology? But Star Trek Beyond was more than just technology. Ships being obliterated in space. There was a couple parts where I felt bad for a few of those crew members. They were just into space. I mean, I hope that they had morning sex, at least. Otherwise, I feel bad for them. Now, there were some cool Easter eggs. There were some notations about episodic feelings. So it's probably a little ode to the old television series. There was some real cool stuff with Spock that I had no clue what the fuck was going on. They showed Spock, the new Spock, a picture of old Spock, and he was dead. I didn't even know what was going on. Was that his dad? I don't know. Maybe I just don't follow along enough. I was just confused. This was space battles done right. This was space the way I want to see it. When they hooked up with the really white chick with those black markings on her face, I was in 100%. Sign me in. All I wanted was her to beat me down. Is that too much to ask for? But there were a couple things that were kind of odd. They found a motorcycle. Okay, makes sense. You found a motorcycle. But don't tell me Kirk is going to ride this motorcycle into the death camp of these enemies of his. On a road. Who made a road out in this place? Okay, yeah, I'm sure some people are going to say, well, it wasn't a road. It's just a walking path. How many of these enemy dudes are walking? I didn't see a whole lot of them going on treks into the wilderness. But it just happens to lead straight into the fortress. Kirk jumps at one point off his motorcycle, grabs the Jaylene girl, which was pretty hot. And that was when I realized that's why Kirk gets so much pussy. The swarm was frightening. That swarm was really frightening. Like, I've run into a wall of bees, okay? And I was punching as hard as I could. And those bees were just coming at me, stinging me everywhere. The only thing I could do was run. I had to run, jump underwater, and stay underwater for like an hour. How did I do it? Straw. You always bring a straw with you. You put it in your back pocket. You pull it out when you need it. Underwater. Straw. Genius move to add Beastie Boys in there. And it was the right moment. And I have to say, perfectly played on that one. And when I see something like that, I don't have to be a fan. I don't have to be, walking around doing my Spock signs and speaking Klingon, which is pretty, I'll be honest, it's pretty badass when you can speak Klingon. I know some people out there think it's stupid. I think, look, if you can speak any other language, because I can't, then you're better than me, which is cool. You go to a Star Trek convention, you're blown away. And I'll be honest, there's some real oddies there. So, bro up, go out, hunt them down. And if you're into Klingons, there's plenty of Klingons. There wasn't enough sex with aliens. I want to see more intimate moments with different aliens. They don't have to speak English. They can have multiple tentacles. I don't care. But I just want to see it because I'm curious what it's like. Bottom line, Star Trek Beyond was an awesome, spectacular, space battle-y movie This was, if you weren't a Star Trek fan, this was something to make you want to see the next one. But I will fault them for not having enough lightsabers in it. Or Jedi powers. What happened to those? Overall, Star Trek Beyond, 7 out of 10. It was my favorite space movie this year. Peppermint candies are great. And after watching this review, you're probably like, man, I want a peppermint candy. But you probably don't have one. So you probably should just subscribe and comment and do all that stuff. And look, if you have a question, you want something reviewed, hit me up. I'm your bro.